Perseus was the son of Zeus and Danae, the daughter of Acrisius, king of Argos. Now Acrisius would rather have a son, so he asked the oracle of Delphi if his daughter would give birth to a boy. Good news, Danae would have a son. Bad news, that boy would kill Acrisius. Knowing all this, the king of Argos decided to prevent his daughter from being pregnant and imprisoned her in a chamber only open to the sky. Zeus had seen Danae and fell in love with her, so he came to her in the form of gold rain and impregnated her. Danae gave birth to a son. Acrisius was furious. On one hand, he wanted to kill his daughter and her newborn son, but on the other hand, he didn't fancy the idea of enraging Zeus by killing his offspring. So he decided to put Danae and young Perseus in a wooden box and throw them at the sea. Once again, Acrisius' measures failed as the box was washed ashore on the Greek island of Seriphos, and mother and son were rescued by a fisherman named Dictys, who raised the boy to manhood. The island was ruled by a tyrant, Polydictys. Polydictys wanted to marry Danae, but Perseus, now a young man, did not like him, and protected his mother from him. So Polydictys found a way to get rid of Perseus. He held a banquet and requested that each guest would bring a horse as a gift. Young Perseus did not have a horse, so the night of the banquet he asked Polydictys to name the gift, and the conniving king demanded the head of Medusa. Medusa was one of the three Gorgon sisters, the others being Stheno and Evriali. They were the daughters of the marine deity Phorcys and his sister Quito. Now, according to a later version of the myth by the Roman poet Ovid, Medusa was originally a stunningly beautiful maiden of Athena and was raped by Poseidon, who at the time was transformed to a horse outside Athena's temple. Athena was furious but wanted to avoid a direct conflict with Poseidon, so she unleashed her wrath at Medusa, changing her hair into serpents and cursing her to turn into stone whoever gazed at her face. Back to Perseus now. The young man started his quest to find Medusa. Athena instructed him to find the Hesperide nymphs, which would provide him with weapons capable of defeating the Gorgon. He sought out the Grae and demanded the whereabouts of the Hesperids. The Grae were three very old women who had to share a single eye. As they passed the eye from one to the other, Perseus snatched it from them, holding it for ransom. When the three women led him to the Hesperids, he returned them. From the Hesperids, he got a bag to safely contain Medusa's head. Zeus gave him an adamantium sword, the Harpy, which looked like this. Hades gave him his helm of darkness, which would make him invisible. Hermes gave him his winged sandals, and Athena her shield, which was shiny as a mirror. Having all the stuff he needed, Perseus proceeded to Medusa's lair. In the cave, he came upon a sleeping Medusa, and by viewing her reflection in Athena's shield, he safely approached and cut off her head. The other two Gorgons realized that Medusa was dead and pursued Perseus, who wore Hades' helm of darkness, and escaped. On his way back to home, Perseus stopped in the kingdom of Ethiopia. Ethiopia was ruled by King Cepheus and Queen Cassiope. Cassiope was boasting about her daughter Andromeda being equally beautiful to the Nereids, the daughters of Poseidon, so he sent an inundation on the land and a sea serpent, the Ketos. Not a kraken, as the movie Clash of the Titans unsuccessfully tries to depict. The Oracle of Ammon informed King Cepheus that no relief would be found unless he exposed Andromeda to the beast. Andromeda was fast and naked on a rock on the shore, but Perseus turned the monster to stone using the head of Medusa and claimed Andromeda in marriage. But Andromeda was promised to one of her uncles, Phineus, and when Perseus found out, guess what? He showed him the head of Medusa. and with his rival now being a statue, he married Andromeda. The couple went back to Seriphus, where Perseus looked for his mother. The villagers informed him that she was forced to take refuge in a shrine because Polydectes tried to marry her by force. Once again, Perseus used Medusa's head. He kept his promise. He brought Medusa's head to Polydectes, though it didn't do him much good. After that, he offered the head as a sacrifice to Athena. Bad decision, if you ask me, and decided to visit his homeland, Argos. Acrisius learned about Perseus' visit and fearing that the prophecy might be fulfilled, left for Larissa. Perseus, disappointed for not meeting his grandfather, also went to Larissa where athletic games were being held. He participated at the discus throw, but when he threw his disc, Acrisius accidentally stepped in the trajectory of his discus and was killed. When Perseus realized that he killed his own grandfather, he was devastated. Unwilling to return to Argos and claim his throne, Perseus decided to give it to Megapenthes, king of Tiryns, and in return Megapenthes would give Perseus the kingdom of Tiryns. So Perseus and Andromeda lived happily ever after. When Andromeda died, she was placed by Athena amongst the constellations of the northern sky.